Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Matthew back in the game room for another episode. It is Saturday. It is Christmas Eve, so I figured I'd come down here, make a quick video for you guys. Nothing super lengthy. I finally did get in one of those figures I was looking for, and sadly enough, the package it came in, the bubble was all destroyed. So I just pretty much took it out of the package for this video. I did actually purchase two of them. The other one was loose that I wanted for this video, but it is what it is, unfortunately. So every time you go on eBay, you purchase something, it says, view similar items or more from this seller, etc. And I came across a figure that I remember, but I haven't thought about in many years. And if I hadn't seen that picture, I would never in a million years would have remembered that particular figure. And I'm going to be talking about that very shortly. And so a lot of nostalgia's kicked in, and I'm thinking about old childhood figures that I used for play. Now, as you know, I only had about, I estimate, roughly 15 figures or so from Hasbro growing up. Maybe another half dozen Galoob figures. So if you're sitting there and you're battling and you want to do a Royal Rumble and you want a full 30-man Royal Rumble, you're basically pulling other figures, other toys that you have available to compete in those matches. So I grabbed about, looks like there's 7 figures here that kind of, take me back to early childhood, 6, 7, 8 years old, playing with my wrestling figures and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure I probably wrestled with those guys later than that, but, obviously early 90s is kind of what I'm gravitating towards. So the first figure I'm going to bring up, actually, before I get there, the one that kind of took me back, kind of gave me the idea for this particular video. So the idea is wrestling figures that weren't actually wrestlers. The first one, and again, I don't know anything about these guys other than, the line that they come from. So this is actually from the Ghostbusters, or Real Ghostbusters, mid-80s. And it is the Ghost football player. And what kind of remind me about this is not necessarily the football player himself, but it's that little backing, the little monster comes out of his back. If this figure does come with, I kind of remember him having a white enclosure to, a little shirt backing, essentially. I don't remember it being open like this, so yeah, he has to, because he's got a little hook right here, so you would assume that the shirt would just pop right in there. So obviously not complete. But this Ghostbuster figure, again, I would have never in a million years remembered this thing if I hadn't come across, view similar items or, that type of, what kind of recommended to me. And Ghostbusters, man, who would think of Ghostbusters as making good action figures? But kind of like what the Hasbro does, what do I always say? Up and down, right here. That's basically all you need. Give you your punching. You can still get your clothesline in. Body slam, just over the head, kind of do like the little stinger, Ric Flair type of deal. Football player, ghost figure from Ghostbusters. Man, and I think that this is right here. This is kind of like what got me started in collecting the Ghostbusters. Yes, I have gone in and started collecting about 3 or 4 other lines in the last few weeks. So on this bottom shelf here, let's see if I give you guys a quick view here. So essentially, I have started collecting a ton of Ghostbusters. I got into American Gladiators, and this one over here is Swamp Thing. And there's one other line in particular that I was looking at, but holding the camera, I don't know if you guys were able to see everything. Hopefully it'll pop up clearly on camera. But yeah, so this right here, I actually see this on card for like $75. I really wanted it, but no, $75 for that. I just don't see the value there. The next one, I believe this was also part. Yep, this was also part of the Ghostbusters line. And again, another one of those figures I never in a million years would have remembered. From Ghostbusters, the Monster Collection, the werewolf. And I kind of remember this because I remember squeezing the legs and, obviously doing the whole werewolf howl thing. And that is such an awesome figure. And I think I got this. I got a bunch of other monsters as well for like. I put an offer. It was accepted. I think it was I got like $60 or something. A lot of these figures on card, you're looking in the $60 to $75 neighborhood. And I think I bought one carded figure. I don't see it down there, but I thought I did. Oh, yeah, he's hid back there, but I think it was maybe the Frankenstein monster that I got. But yeah, this werewolf, I use this guy as a wrestler as part of, I guess I've heard people say call it federation. I don't really have a better word for it, so I'll stick with that term in my federation during childhood. From Ghostbusters, werewolf. Now, these next two are probably the most common figures that I've talked about them in the past that I could actually remember. And first one, the Just Toys Bendum, the Incredible Hulk. And, back in the day, before I move that, I'll also pull out this one. This one is actually Harry and the Hendersons, Bigfoot. So, these two Just Toys Bendum figures are probably the most common figures that I used as a child. And this one in particular kind of stands out to me because I always feel like I always used The Undertaker from Series 4 to wrestle Bigfoot in a 1-to-1 match. And I always feel like Bret Hart, Series 4, was always going against Incredible Hulk on 1-to-1 matches. And of course, during Royal Rumbles, they always kind of like, went against each other as well. Or you'd have one-on-one matches with these two guys. And I thought that was some of the most enjoyable, even better than actual wrestlers at that time. They were just so much fun to use. So, in particular, Bigfoot. I always remember Bigfoot. I could not remember who he came from. And I just, again, I don't know if I was searching, I think I was searching for this particular figure. And just somehow, I came across him on card. And the card, obviously, during shipment was a lot more destroyed than what was shown in the picture. But, so, I'm trying to think back. I don't actually remember using him as, like, the Giant Gonzalez. But you would think that would be a perfect example. Like I said, I always put him against The Undertaker. And, based on size, yeah, you could have this as, like, and why not? Decent look, in comparison to the actual Giant Gonzalez. Kind of like wearing a little bear suit or whatever. Makes sense. So anytime I got on eBay and I tried looking for this figure, I always searched Bigfoot or I searched Sasquatch, whatever. I never even considered that this was an actual Harry and the Hendersons type figure. And a lot of these figures we had as kids, I don't even know where they even came from. I got some Thundercats I'm going to be talking about shortly. Those were nothing that we watched as kids that I can remember. I don't think my mom or parents at any point ever purchased any of that stuff, grandparents. So where did they come from? I'm thinking my oldest brother. I'm thinking some of the girls that he dated and their kids. Maybe they left him over at the house or something, and that's how we came to own them or something. I don't know. But this right here was probably the most important non-wrestling figure that I've coveted for so long, and to finally get this, and I'm disappointed that I don't have, because I'm gonna have to tape that card up. I mean, display wise, I want to hang it up, but I just don't see it working. And I do have another one, a loose one, coming in the mail. I was hoping it'd be here by today, but maybe sometime Tuesday, Wednesday. And Incredible Hulk, I actually got this one on card. I've seen this exact figure on like 3 different card backings. So I got one and I didn't bring it down. I should have. It's kind of like a Marvel, on the back you got X-Men, stuff like that. So this one, I purchased this guy a number of times. I think I purchased him like 3 times. I got a single one. I got one on card. I got another one with him with a lot of other Incredible Hulk figures. So not gonna wrestle these guys. For me, it's just about nostalgia, just kind of acquiring them and having them, just to look at, kind of like reminisce about, past experiences and whatnot. But this was so awesome to actually get these guys and have them together. the Just Toy Bendham figures. Now, for the longest time, I've always stated Sid Vicious Glue, because of the fighting pose, because of the fact that he was a harder figure, harder plastic, rubber, I don't know what he was made out of. I always say plastic, hard plastic, whatever, but it's not plastic. But anyways, whatever it's made out of, it was basically an unbreakable figure. You drop that figure on the ground, you're not sitting there holding your breath thinking, arms or legs just busted off. With the Hasbro's, completely different story. And so I gravitated towards that Sid Vicious figure so much. It was everything I wanted. It was a non-breakable figure, great pose, great look, great likeness of the actual character. So I loved it. If I was looking at another figure that I used as much as that Sid Vicious figure, and it's not even a wrestling action figure, what's his name? Panthro? Maybe Cathro or something. No, I think Cathro is what I was calling him, but Panthro from Thundercats. Other than the Sid Vicious figure, this is probably the most used wrestler that I've ever had, and it was actually one of the most enjoyable figures. Again, you could talk about movable joints and all that stuff. Yeah, this right here, again, that's enough. I mean, are you sitting there like actually using the little action or whatever on here? Probably not. And during your Royal Rumbles, these three guys would the good size to each other. They were all monsters, and that's the thing. You weren't. I may have used it as John Gonzalez, but again, that's just what my thought process right now. Was I thinking that back as a kid? Probably not. I don't remember. But to me, it was always Bigfoot. It wasn't, another character. It wasn't someone dressed up in, a Sasquatch costume or anything. It wasn't someone dressed up as a as a cat monster or something. No, it was Thundercats or, well, I think I only called him Thundercat. I don't think I ever called him Panthro because I don't remember watching the show as a kid. So, and the only reason I know the name now is because I saw it in the listing when I bought it. But Panthro from Thundercats, possibly one of my most commonly used action figures of all time as a kid, as a wrestler. Nostalgia, man, I'm telling you. It's things that you didn't think about in your 20s, but as you get older, the stuff kind of like, you like to reminisce about like past history and whatnot. And this is such an amazing piece. These last two figures, I don't know who they are. I know they're Thundercats, but that's about all I know. They're good pieces. I mean, they were used frequently. Not exactly a most commonly used type figures, but I mean they were there. They were available, and when we did our rumbles, they were necessary. So I think this one is called Jackalman, if I'm not mistaken. And again, a lot of these figures, I don't know if their actions really work. There we go. That's pretty awesome. Well, again, you're not sitting there, pushing the little button. You're just moving the arms as necessary. And again, like I said, just like the rest of them, you're not using any of these guys as, human beings dressed up in a costume. They were actually the portrayal of the actual characters. So you have humans going against, I call them monsters because, what else are you really going to call them in this particular instance? Jackalman, and trying to see if he has a good size. Yeah, so I mean, these figures, they all, square up against each other, are really nice. And if you're taking a Hasbro figure or even your Galoo, when you're putting forward, that's awesome because that's realistic. That's what you want to see. You want to see, you're basically your beast of the ring, who absolutely pounding on the other guys. And this was a good one, actually. I'm kind of tempted to take these guys and get my Hasbro and Galoob figures, get some of the duplicates, and just start wrestling them, just because I've seen some videos where some guys get there and they actually get in the ring and they're actually sitting there and they're actually wrestling. I'm like, I say, do you guys? That looks fun, definitely. I guess I'd probably be too embarrassed to do something like that. I've talked about it plenty. Bone Breaking Action on YouTube. He does exactly what I want to do. And, you know, he doesn't use strings. You know, he doesn't have like a dark lighting in the back and, you know, with black gloves on, holding these guys kind of like, you know, and wrestling them. He does like some kind of like CGI or something where he takes his Mattel Retros and the Hasbros and, you know, they move. The arms moves, they jump off the ring tops up. That is so awesome. Again, I would love to know how to do something like that. If not for this video or these type of videos, just for something, just for personal knowledge and stuff, you know. That would be just so much fun. But, yeah. Where we at? I thought this... I keep talking. I swear to God. I normally think these videos are going to go like 10 or 15 minutes, and it's going to end up being about a 20 or 25 minute video. I'm really really bad at this. Last one, another Thundercat. I have no idea who he is or what he's called, but yeah. Again, I think this was one of my oldest brother's girlfriend's children. You know, one of their toys, because I never had these as like Christmas presents or birthday presents. My siblings never got them, so where did they come from? How did we acquire them? And I just think that they were leftover toys. But again, you got another Sasquatch type monster, you know, to go against the actual Bigfoot. Now, because this guy's a little bit smaller, obviously he's more like a monkey or ape type monster. I don't know. But I absolutely love the long arms, the big hands and everything. So, memories, guys. Shoot. I'm trying to look around and see if there's like really anything else that like really stands out to me. I don't think so. Not really. Were there other characters that we use as wrestlers? Probably. You know, I don't sit there and remember every single action figure that we've ever had. In fact, these three right here were probably the most used non-wrestlers, and these are the only ones I could actually remember. And I think I got one of these from a seller in Canada. I bought it as a lot for like $200. I think I bought like 2 different lots, and he was in one of them. And this one right here I got from Move Over Swanson, only because, you know, I wanted a secondary figure. You know me, I like to have duplicates where possible. Yeah, so I'm going to shut up here because, again, this was super long, a lot longer than I expected it to be, at least. And, you know, I just want to close to see what your guys' thoughts are. Did you have any particular figures that you used as wrestlers that were non-wrestlers? Or, you know, anything you guys really want to talk about in the comments. You know, I'd love to hear from you, and I will respond as often as possible. So, again, it's the 24th of December. I'm not going to get this video up. I got, I think, 2 more videos that I already created for my more expensive action figures that are acquisitions. So, I'm trying to think. So, today's Saturday. Yesterday afternoon, I posted the numbers 11 through 20 of my favorite LJN original figures. So that was actually posted super early. It was supposed to be posted this morning. I decided to do it yesterday because, you know, I got bored around the house. I had nothing else to watch, so I wanted to post that video so I could watch that. And so that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So on Tuesday, I'll probably try to think if I want to do. Yeah, I'll post the first video of the more expensive figures on Tuesday, and Friday I'll post probably the second one, or maybe I'll post this one. And quick update. Sorry, I know we're at 19, almost 20 minutes, but in 2023, I want to change some things up. So, as I stated before, when I created this channel, I didn't want it to be a strictly collectible type of channel. It was supposed to be a catch-all. You know, if I wanted to talk about baseball today, we talk about baseball. If I wanted to talk about, you know, military service, you know, that would be a video. Or, you know, jobs I've had or overseas contract jobs, eBay update type of stuff, you know, just like I said, any and everything. it just so happened to be that when I created the channel, I wanted to do that first tournament. And then from there, I wanted to talk about some of the other things I collected, and that's why I started talking about LJN or Hasbro's, and then I started getting to some of the additional collections. So I started getting Remco's in, talking about it. It just kind of became a wrestling or a collectible channel, and it was never intended to be just that. So in 2023, I'm gonna do my best to try and switch things up and add more content, more different ideas. I don't know if I want to make Karen videos because, again, that right there has been overdone. I enjoy them. I think they're funny, but I just don't know if that's in me. My wife and I were sitting on the couch last night, and we were talking about different things. She was like reading Reddit or on TikTok or something, talk about stories. So I'd actually really love for her to come down and, we sit down, talk about some different topics. Doesn't have to be, 30-minute videos. I'm thinking 10, 20-minute videos would be fine. But that's the plan. So this year, right after I messed up and started posting like 7 to 10 videos a day for those first competition videos back in March, I decided to slow down and start posting videos every 3 days. So that's probably going to change in 2023. So if I make a video today, I'll post a video today. Or if I make 5 videos today, maybe I'll post 1 video each over the course of the next 5 days. The reason I didn't want to do that this year is because I didn't want to have 10 videos in 10 days and then basically have nothing to talk about and then go 3 or 4 weeks without posting anything. So that's some updates, some of the different things. Some of the more popular topics, like I said, I'm still going to be doing eBay, what happened to eBay type videos. I've made about 3 of them or so so far this year. So that's still on the itinerary. I'll still do comparable LJNs. That's one of my more favorite. I'll give shout out videos as I get more figures in or what have you. Foxer Fury, he mentioned doing a Hasbro tournament, which I think once I did my first tournament, that was absolutely one I was very interested in doing. But I just kind of felt like maybe that would take too long. But I really don't think so. Yes, there's maybe 20 or so more Hasbro's than LJN, but I also threw in customs, and I do have a lot of Hasbro customs, but I don't have to the extent that I do of the LJN, so I think I could probably get that done in, 15 videos or so. So what I'm thinking, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, put more videos out a little bit more often, so that should help as well. Yeah, if you guys have ideas as well, I mean, I'd love to see what you guys' thoughts process is. I'd love to do the Jakks Classic Superstars. I've been wanting to do those for countless months. I've been holding off because I wanted to have an entire series. So I wanted to have all of Series 1, and then I could talk about the Series 1 figures. And then maybe go on and have all of Series 2 and show all the Series 2 figures. I have well over 100 of those Jakks Classic Superstars, both single, double, and triple figures, but I pretty much stopped collecting them. But I don't know. I have a sheet somewhere with all of the different check boxes or check marks of what I do have. If I was doing Series 15 and I had 6 out of 8 figures, I'd say okay, that'd be fine. Let's do it. Now if I have 5 out of 8 figures, 4 or 5 figures out of 8. Now that's, to me, is not enough. So that's still on the itinerary. It's just it may take a while before that ever happens. If I could just simply do a little input pop up of the particular figure for those that I don't have, that would work. But since I don't have that kind of tech savvy, I'm not very tech savvy. I don't know how to do all that. So that's why I try to have the physical piece in hand where possible. All right, that's it for now, guys. I'm looking forward to posting this video probably just before the year changes over, so hopefully a lot of this will make sense. So 24th, I'll probably have another video on the 26th, maybe 27th, and I'll probably have this posted somewhere around the 30th or 31st, somewhere in that time frame. All right, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Sorry about my yammering. I have a habit of doing that. And I will say goodbye for now, and look to hear from you in the comments. Goodbye, everyone.